Hi, this is Megan Keane from Avid Artist Relations here with Don Hahn, director of Waking Sleeping Beauty, one of the feature documentaries here at South by Southwest. Hi, Don.
Hi, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Really good.
Good, so your film just screened today.
It screened about 3 hours ago, and it was great. We were at a huge theater, like an old movie palace, and it was full, and people had a good time, so can't beat that.
Nice, and you've screened a number of other places before coming to South by Southwest, right?
Yeah, we were really lucky. We started Telluride late last year, and then went to Toronto and the Hamptons, and this week we just finished screening at the Smithsonian, which was really cool, because the ruby slippers are upstairs and Fonzie's jacket, and we're downstairs, so that was really good.
Yeah, cool. So can you talk a little bit, just tell about what the film is about?
Yeah, it's Waking Sleeping Beauty is about that perfect storm of people and circumstances that made the Disney animated movies back in the 80s and 90s. And there was an amazing confluence of great kind of executive talent like Jeffrey Katzenberg and Roy Disney and Michael Eisner, but also great creative talent like Tim Burton and John Lasseter and Brad Bird and all these people who are now the leaders of animation. And that all came from that time. And so it's a real behind-the-scenes look at what that was all like and what that dynamic was like.
And so, I know, but tell our viewers a little bit about how you ended up doing this film.
Well, it started probably a couple years ago when the producer Peter Schneider, who used to run animation, and I sat down with Dick Cook, who was the head of Disney at the time, and said, this is a really special time of our history. Why don't we document this before we all forget it and go to the old motion picture home or something. And so we thought, if we're going to do it, we have to do it in an incredibly candid way and show the story warts and all. And the big idea visually as a director for me was to use archival footage. So everything in the movie was shot between 84 and 94, which was a technical mess, I think would be the grab bag, would be the nice word for it. But storytelling-wise, I could transport you into the rooms then and sit you at the tables where I was and show you Howard Ashman and Alan Menken writing songs and have you feel like you actually were there experiencing it while it was happening. And that was part of using the archival footage.
I like the analogy, warts and all, especially with the Waking Sleeping Beauty reference, Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about what the mass of footage that I'm sure you had to go through with all of the access that you had. How was that technically?
Well, early on we had to make a decision. Come on through, really, it's okay. We had to make a decision how to cut and how to pull this all together. And we did a bunch of tests, and we basically had 250 hours of media, but on all different kinds of platforms, everything from scratchy old VHS tapes to 3/4-inch U-matic tapes to new high-def time-lapse that we shot. But we didn't shoot any new interviews, so it was really a grab bag of media of all different kinds. Even, or off of YouTube, because that was the only place we could find it. We ended up with an Avid because we felt like that was the best way to wrangle all this material, because it was big and scary and we didn't want the machine to crash. And it was remarkably robust because we were able to throw pretty much anything at it in terms of conversions and working with this, all the different media and doing cleanups, and the movie is full of chyrons and text information, so it's just a really good tool for our editors to use. I suppose the other thing too is we had 3 editors, so we had to find a stable kind of work base that we could all work on and share across platforms, and Avid gave us that too, so it's a really easy platform to work on for us.
So it sounds like this isn't the first time that you've worked on Media Composer.
No, it's not. I mean, my God, we've done so many of our animated movies on Media Composer again and again and again, and we just finished Oceans, which is the next Disney nature movie that's coming out on Earth Day, and that's all been done on Avid Media Composer, and it's a great machine. It's reliable. It helps us get through creative choices. It plugs into all kinds of other apps and things for us to be able to have a really effective creative environment. And I'm not a hugely technical director, but it's very friendly to me. I can sit there and work with an editor who is a little more technical and ask for the most ridiculous things in the world in terms of resizes and repositions and things, and it's a really facile tool for the editors to use.
So is this the first documentary feature that you've done?
It is. I'm largely a producer. I produced Lion King and Beauty and the Beast and Roger Rabbit. I was an associate producer on, so I've seen a lot of movies from a producer's standpoint. And I just became totally seduced by the documentary process by doing this film. Because how great is that? You can sit with all this footage and just kind of wander through and try to craft a story for the audience, and really enjoyed it.
Yeah, definitely looking at documentary format and post-production, it changes the role of an editor, that the editor really becomes part of the writing, screenwriting crew. And so how was your relationship with your editors?
Well, great, and all three of them. We started out with Vartan Nazarian, who was our kind of heavy lifting guy, and he came in and got the 250 hours down to 5 hours. And then we brought in J.D. Ryan, who also cut on the movie, and he's going up to Lucasfilm now to edit on one of their films. And he was my treasure hunter, so he would go through and look at endless hours of footage and say, I found this great clip of Jeffrey waving off the press on the red carpet, or I found this clip of Roy Disney that you've never seen. So he was like mining for gold.
Awesome.
And then Ellen Kennishay, who I had worked with on many of our animated films going back to Lion King, came in and did like a polish cut for us. So all in the same machine, and all different kind of ways of using an editor, but all really creative guys and girls that help put the movie together, and I really lean on them for collaboration. They're almost like co-directors to me. I expect them to come up with strong points of view and defend things and have a dialogue back and forth, so it's not just a monologue from me, and that's what I enjoy about the process.
So what's been different about being at South by Southwest specifically compared to all the other places that you've screened the film?
Well, there's far more drunken people in the streets at South by Southwest, but aside from that, it is a great place. You know what I love is I can't really think of another festival that combines a film festival with music and with all the other tech stuff that's going on here. And I find that really exciting, to hear bands playing in the street, to see exhibit halls full of guitars and stuff, and at the same time a really vital film festival. How cool is that? Because usually it's just a film festival, which is lovely, but to have all those kind of creative bits interacting at South by Southwest is really fun.
Yeah, I agree completely. This is my first time here.
Yeah.
So what happens next? Where's the film going next?
Wow, just this week we screened at the Smithsonian, which was so cool, and now this weekend, a week from now on the 26th, it opens in 4 markets, 5 theaters: San Francisco, Los Angeles, Burbank, Chicago, and New York. So for a documentary, that is unbelievable, because to get distribution at all, as you know, is impossible. So we're really lucky to have that distribution, and then it'll come out on DVD in the fall.
So where can people go to find out more information?
2 places. We're on Facebook, Waking Sleeping Beauty, and we also have a website, wakingsleepingbeautymovie.com, and you can find out all about it.
Cool. Thanks so much, Don.
It's a pleasure.
Great
nice
to meet you.
Same here.
Okay, so tune in later for more from South by Southwest 2010.